Jane is finally released from jail after serving 17 years of rigorous imprisonment. But even while leaving the jail, he is treated badly. The jailer asks him to lift the heavy flag and carry it to the jail gate. Exhausted, Jane picks up the flag while clenching his teeth in anger. Even after so much suffering, there is still strength left in his arms. As soon as he reaches the gate, he throws the flag on the ground. The jailer released him, but wrote in his file, "This is a very dangerous person. He got such a big punishment only because he stole a piece of bread for his hungry nephew." When he came out of jail, he thought that maybe now his life will change. But the society refused to accept him. Wherever he went, people gave him only hatred and contempt. If he asked for work, he was chased away. If he asked for food, he was insulted. His name was erased, and people saw him only as a criminal. Exhausted and hungry, Jane went and slept outside a church on a cold night. After a while, a priest felt pity at his condition. He brought him to his house. He fed the hungry Jane and also gave him a place to sleep. But Jane's soul was still full of fear and hunger. At night, he stole the priest's silver utensils and ran away. But the police caught him and took him back to the priest. But the priest said something else. "I had given him these silver utensils as a gift." This forgiveness and kindness of the priest shook Jane from within. His eyes filled with tears. For the first time, he felt that humanity is still alive. At that very moment, he decided that now he will come out of his past and become a good person and start a new life. 8 years passed. After working hard day and night, Jane had now become the owner of a clothing factory. He used to give jobs to people and started getting respect in the society. But fate tested him again. A new police officer came to the same city. This was the same jailer who had tortured Jane in jail years ago. He saw Jane and immediately recognized him. He felt that no prisoner can become a good person after coming out of jail. He decided to arrest him again, but now he did not have any evidence. At that time, a woman was working in Jane's factory. She was harassed by a fellow worker and became pregnant. She was fired from the factory. Now the woman had to work on the streets to earn her living. One day, some goons harassed the woman. Then the police arrived. The woman said, "I used to work in Jane's factory, but I was fired." Jane was listening to all this from a distance. He immediately came there and took the woman with him. He promised to help her and became her support. The next day, the police received a letter in which it was written that Jane had been arrested. When the accused was brought to the court, the real Jane got scared because the person who was caught was Jane's lookalike, a man who looked exactly like him. Jane himself went to the court and said, "I am the culprit," but there was no evidence against him, so the court released him. Meanwhile, riots broke out in the city. Jane jumped into the fights to help the people. The jailer also sees all this. He does not understand. How did a man who was once a criminal now become so kind, courageous, and selfless? He used to think that law was the greatest, but now he realized that kindness and humanity are much greater. He cannot bear this confusion and leaves the world. After seeing all kinds of twists and turns in life, finally, when Jane's life moves towards the end, he sees the people because of whom his life changed, the kind priest and the people who supported him in his bad times. And then Jane bids farewell peacefully. But he left behind an important lesson, that a person's goodness matters more than their past. And sometimes, even a small act of kindness can give a broken heart a reason to live. So tell me, friends, have you ever tried to heal a broken heart?